I screw up more often than I'd like to admit, yet he does not walk away from me.
He understands what Satan is doing to us. He understands the pull of this world and the lies that Satan is constantly telling us.
I don't know that I would have continued with my growth in Jesus had I not had this church. And well, it was meeting at my house, so I had to go to church.
You had no choice.
I had no choice, but I really think that was by God's design, because I would have found excuses not to go or not to watch had it not been there. So I am thankful for you dragging me into this.
Oh, I didn't have to drag very hard.
No, you asked and I said, okay.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, my name is Jim and this is Angela.
Hello.
Normally, you guys only get to hear us, but
Jim called this morning and said, let's video our podcast.
Yeah, so we're doing a videotape on our podcast today. And this is like a Thanksgiving special, but if this works out, hey, maybe we'll do it more.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about Thanksgiving today, or what we're thankful for. We've had quite a year, and you know, if you are just on this podcast and this is the first time and you haven't subscribed to the channel, I want to ask you to smash that subscribe button and kind of become part of our Christian Life Empowerment podcast family.
Yeah.
So you are on the Christian Life Empowerment podcast and videocast. What in the world do they call that anyway? They call it a vlog?
Yeah, video log. So
oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Sure.
So we'll figure it out. You can tell we really know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So we've had quite a year.
Yeah. It's been a year. I mean, with COVID and everything, I mean, there's just so much has happened this past year. And it kind of blows my mind how much has happened in
such a short time.
Such a short time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's lots
pandemics, fires, ice storms, I mean, just all
earthquakes, floods, everything. And yet, in the midst of it, we are trying to bring hope and love and Jesus to Oregon City.
To Oregon City and then to the world.
To the world, really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's nice that we have the Oregon City thing going on right now, and I'm pretty stoked about what's going on there. I mean, I am thankful to have this church family that we developed. Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about things that I'm thankful for the year, a lot of you know that Angela and I are working together to plant a church in Oregon City, and we've developed friends that, you know, we really didn't have before, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Angie and I have been friends for a long time, but more people have come into our mix, and
our core group is, I mean, people are acquaintances, but now it's their family.
Right.
I mean, they are part of my life. And honestly, thankful for the church. To be perfectly honest, I have a hard time just watching a church sermon or a video of church. So I don't know that I would have continued with my growth in Jesus had I not had this church. And well, it was meeting at my house, so I had to go to church.
You had no choice.
I had no choice. But I really think that was by God's design, because I would have found excuses not to go or not to watch had it not been there. So I am thankful for you dragging me into this.
Oh, I didn't have to drag very hard.
No, you asked and I said, okay.
Yeah.
So.
You're a natural born leader and go-getter, and you just, it's been a big privilege to be able to work with you on this. I mean, I can't think of anybody else that could have grabbed and tackled this thing with me and made it happen, because it's not an easy thing to do. But yes, I am very thankful for the people around us that you know, we were trying to help them, they ended up helping us.
Yeah. And, you know, people who thought that they were, you know, where they were wanted to be, and they had a church family, and yet, you know, we said, hey, we have this idea, this is what we want to do, and we really want you to be a part of it. And they said yes.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, so that was really awesome. And, you know, we built this relationship and this family with these people, and we're adding more to it. I mean, it blows my mind. Well, not blows my mind, but it just makes me so happy that 2 weeks ago we had a family come in. They found us online, and they are just jumping in with both feet, and they are awesome people. I love having them with us.
Yeah. And they're, so these people found the Adventist church, which is what Angie and I are starting. These people found the Adventist church because they were studying in the Bible, and they studied and they believed that the seventh day Sabbath is. So they were looking for a Sabbath keeping church, one that worships on Saturday, and we happen to be that church in Oregon City.
Yeah.
And it was amazing that they were telling me, well, there doesn't seem to be a lot of Adventist churches around. I was going, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. There are.
But God brought them to us, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that's really
so
cool.
and then and then the gentleman that is the father, he is going to be leading out in our church service.
3 weeks into joining us,
Right.
and he is gonna lead our discussion next week.
He's not a baptized member. He's just
and that's the beauty of our structure is
Yes.
every member, even though we're not baptized members yet, but every person has the ability and the opportunity to participate and to lead and to share, which is so amazing to me, because I mean, I have my perspective on the Bible because of my life experiences, and having somebody else with their life experiences lead out on a church service or a discussion is just, it opens my mind to so much more in the Bible, because I'd never thought to look at it that way.
Yes. Yeah.
And we have such a great group of, people who know their Bible in and out, people who know the history that goes along with the Bible, and people who don't know the Bible at all. And it's just, our conversations are freaking amazing.
And it's amazing that some of the people that don't know the Bible at all sometimes come up with the biggest aha revelations. I mean, things like, whoa, I never looked at it like that before.
Well, and I think that's the power of the Spirit. That's how you can tell that the Spirit is with us while we're having these discussions. Because somebody who doesn't know the Bible at all opens the minds of somebody who does to a new perspective. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, because when God is working inside of you and teaching you, and the Holy Spirit is training, that's, you can, a theologian with a PhD can learn things from somebody that's never cracked a Bible before, because it's the Holy Spirit doing the teaching.
That's right.
And he knows more than all of us. So. He wrote it. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So what else are you thankful for this year? What has happened this year, Ange?
Well, I mean, I am thankful that I have a beautiful home that I have the opportunity to live in. We actually signed our closing papers April 1st of 2020, which was right when everything just got locked down. So we were able to be in a house instead of an apartment.
Which allowed you to have a home church.
Right? Which allowed you to have a home church.
It allowed us to have a home church, all right?
Yeah. The typical things, the family and the friends. I think, I'll be honest, last weekend I went down a path.
Your family might be watching.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And yeah. But last weekend I went to Seattle with a girlfriend for her birthday and just made choice after choice that was not good. So while I'm not thankful for that, I am very grateful for God's grace and the fact that I screw up more often than I'd like to admit, yet He does not walk away from me.
Yeah.
And it's not an excuse to screw up. It's not a free pass to make bad choices, but I'm human and I make bad choices, and the fact that He still loves me and he will not walk away from me
Right.
is, I cannot thank him enough for that. I just can't.
Yeah, amen. I mean, because we all do that. We all have make these bad choices and do things sometimes we wish we hadn't have done, or our mind goes places we wish it hadn't have gone, and he's still there.
Yeah.
He doesn't leave us
Yeah.
in that. He understands what Satan is doing to us. He understands the pull of this world and the lies that Satan is constantly telling us.
Yeah.
And I thank God for freedom of choice, right?
Because he could have made us love him.
We could have made us robots, right?
Yeah, he could have made us robots without free choice,
right.
and that's what Satan wants. He doesn't
Right.
want to give us a choice. He just wants to rule us.
Yes.
Where God gives us the choice to love him or not. And yeah,
Well, these decisions that I make that take me down the wrong path, and I pray my way through that, becomes a lesson that strengthens me for the next time, I hope.
Yeah, I hope.
And-
I thought I'd learned this lesson, but apparently not.
Apparently.
So I need to learn again.
Well, and that is, but it doesn't matter how many times it takes. I mean, you remember Peter asking Jesus in the Bible, how many times do we forgive?
7 times 7.
Or 70 times
70 times 7.
Right. And the thing is 7 is basically what Jesus was saying was an infinite number of times.
Don't keep count.
Don't keep count. And if he tells us to forgive an infinite amount of times, he's going to forgive an infinite amount of times.
Yeah, it reminds me of the song we actually sang this past week in church. Is, God's goodness is running after me. Even if I have my back turned and I am going the wrong way, his goodness and his love is chasing me. How amazing is that?
Yeah. No, that was a great point that our music pastor brought out last week. Yeah, Lennox is amazing. I'm thankful for Lennox.
Oh yes, I am so grateful that he is able to join us, and he is not only is his music ability phenomenal, but the insights that he has. He is such a spiritual guy, and just blows my mind every time he opens his mouth.
Yeah, if you haven't heard or listened to Lennox Fleury and his music, we want to invite you down to Hills and Valleys. Some Sabbath.
Even if it's just for the music, I mean, it's phenomenal. You'll be blessed.
Amazing. Yeah. It's amazing, these different things that have fallen into place for us. As far as Lennox, I mean, coming 3 Sabbaths a month.
Yeah.
So you call ahead and see if Lennox is going to be there, or just chance it and come. And then if he's not there, you can come the next week. So we got Lennox.
We have a phenomenal location. I mean, it's a little weird for a church because we meet in a bingo hall at the Elks Club, but the fact that it is downtown Oregon City, we are right on the main thoroughfare. We have room to grow. We can fit 250 people. Come on down. We fit 250 people in that space. So, I mean, and we had tried another place. We were looking at a couple of places, and this, I mean.
Yeah. And to me, I was thinking about this morning. It is getting more of a spiritual feel to me. I mean, especially after last week, we did a memorial service for a friend of my son's who had died. He was 32 years old, accidental overdose. And all, a lot of people were there from Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, a lot of friends and people that really don't normally grace a church, right?
Right.
But everybody felt really comfortable in the Elks Club.
Yeah.
And it was God was in that room. And you know what I was thinking this morning? I wonder how the people that go to play bingo feel now.
Oh, you think a little residual spiritualness, is hanging out?
Maybe God stayed.
I hope so.
Not that bingo's a horrible thing. It's not, but it's not normally what you think of when you think of worshiping.
A church,
church. Although some churches use it as their fundraisers.
Well,
But the Adventist Church has always believed that gambling was something that we would stay away from. That's one of the beliefs of the Adventist Church, and it goes with the belief of addiction. So what the Adventist Church tries to do in its philosophy is to kind of get away from anything that would be addictive. So whether it's drugs, alcohol, caffeine, gambling, all of these things, pornography, anything like that could be addictive, we've kind of just went away from. And
I find that interesting. Yes, that's good. I just never thought of bingo as gambling. I thought it was a fun game that old people played. But I just never thought of it as addictive.
My stepmother
Really?
would spend hundreds, and my dad, they would spend thousands of dollars. Oh yeah, these people, they get all their bingo cards out there, and then they're buying. I played bingo,
Okay.
and so they're buying all their bingo cards, and then you got your special ones, which are the paper cards, and oh yeah, people spend thousands of dollars on bingo.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else gambling. I mean, it's
Okay.
gambling is one of the worst addictions there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people that have been addicted to heroin and alcohol and cigarettes, and they said gambling out of all that was the hardest to quit.
Wow.
Gambling was the harder than heroin to quit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, shows the power of God when you are able to quit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thankful for the location that we have. It's in a bingo hall. I'm not saying bingo's evil. I'm just, but I was just wondering, and I was thinking about that this morning. As much as I'm feeling the presence of God there, I'm hoping those people feel that presence when they come in on Wednesday night.
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it'd be very cool.
Instead of us feeling because it's got a bar downstairs and everything,
Yeah.
it's just not normally where you'd see a church. But I'm hoping the whole church thing flips it, and
No.
I don't know.
Well, and I think it is a space that is not a typical church. A lot of the people who are at the memorial, I don't think would have gone to a typical church.
They wouldn't feel comfortable.
They wouldn't feel comfortable there. And yet we were able, because of our location and your connection to the family, and just the fact that we're willing to, I guess, minister to people no matter what their situation.
Yeah.
I think it's really awesome that we have a space that people can feel comfortable and hopefully not feel judged just because they're coming into a door that is not normal to them.
Yeah, and that was really amplified to me this week. My mother, we're having so many people come for Thanksgiving that she has decided for the first time ever. We've been doing Thanksgiving at her house forever, as long as I can remember, right? But she's decided she's going to do it in the church fellowship hall.
Yep.
Right? Because we've got so many people coming.
Yep.
So I'm seeing some of the family members that don't go to church that are ticked.
They're upset?
They're upset because they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I just want to go where I can feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable in your church. I don't want to go to your church.
Even though it's in like a gym, kind of, it's in our fellowship center that's not the actual church with pews or anything. But some people it's a church building, and it has a stigma. It has
connotation.
Connotation. Yeah.
And some may have a stigma, but but yeah, I don't, because as when I was younger, my mother took me to church every weekend. I never really felt that where I felt scared to go to church. I never had that, but I've seen enough people with that. So I'm glad I don't understand it, but in a way I wish I did.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that we have our area.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that my family is safe and healthy. I got to tell you, my grandkids are incredible. I've got, 5 grandkids. One's 9, one's 7, 2 2-year-olds, and 1 3-year-old. And I mean, it's still a diaper changing factory at times. But everybody's healthy, even through all the coronavirus and all the things that happen. Everybody's healthy, everybody's alive, and God is good. I mean, we personally haven't had any big catastrophes this year.
Yeah.
And I know everybody can't say that, and I know there's people that have gotten bad news from the doctor, and I know people personally like that, and some people that have lost children or what have you, or parents. But for me, I'm just thankful when we can get through a year and everybody's safe and healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really one of the biggest things. You can take all my money.
Yeah.
Wow. You can take my house, as long as my family stays healthy.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And it's when something threatens that your family, it really, I think, puts things into perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I grew up right outside, living outside of New Orleans, so we deal with hurricanes, and I was actually there when Hurricane Katrina hit. And when we were evacuating, it wasn't, I need to take, I grabbed some pictures, I grabbed the computer, but it was, I need clothes for my family, and we need to leave. We're not going to sit here and pack a whole bunch of stuff. I need to get the people out.
Right.
And we lost everything except what we had taken with us. And the fact that we were still alive when others didn't make it, you really realize how important your family is to you.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, like my son hasn't talked to me in a year because he's upset with me for some reason. Yet I would still fly across country to do whatever I could to save him or help him.
Yeah.
Family.
What do you do? Your kids are everything, and mothers are very important because they're the only ones that are going to love you no matter what. I mean, fathers too, but it's being a mother is a very special, important job. There's nothing like it that I've been able to see. Let's say nobody like my mother, I should say. My mother is I could make her mad. I could be mad at her. She could be, but she'll always be my mother, and she'll always, no matter what. So,
And hold on to them, because when they're gone, it's rough.
Yeah. And that's, thankful I got my parents still. My dad's gone, but my mom's there. And so, yes, it has been quite a year.
Yeah.
I was going to go to Africa this year.
You didn't make it.
I didn't make it.
But I think that's a good thing, because there's a lot going on there, and it's dangerous.
Right.
But, not that danger should stop us from spreading,
Right. Well, the State Department kept sending me nasty emails saying to get out of Ethiopia as quickly as possible, and I wasn't even there yet.
Right.
So I was like, all right. But what I am happy for is that we did a pre-training with 12 ladies there. And so one of the things we do for Ultimate Mission, which is this Christian Life Empowerment podcast come from, one of the things we do is we train women to teach mothers to keep their babies alive. So we train women to do public health work, and they go out in the villages and they teach the mothers and the children and all that stuff. And we were able to do a pre-training before everything blew up in Ethiopia. And so we have 12 women that are working, even though we haven't been able to make it there yet.
And the fact that you're not going has now prompted a new version of training where you're going to record all these sessions so that you don't actually have to go to the countries. I know that you're still going to try to go, but this actually opens a door for more people to be trained via technology.
Yeah, which we wouldn't have probably done had this not happened. So God's making lemonade out of the lemons that were getting thrown. But so yes, I'm excited about those videos that are coming up, and we've got a studio to work in, and So yeah, that hopefully is going to be a very cool thing. And we'll have these videos, we'll have them on YouTube, and anybody can watch them. And it'll be kind of a how-to video. Today I'm going to make a how-to video on how to do blood pressures.
How to take blood pressure.
Yeah. So and so yeah, we'll be doing a few things like that. But yeah, so things are coming together despite all of the problems, the wars and everything else that's happening in the world. And I am going to India in February.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
you're going to be on your own with the group,
Well,
the church.
you're going to India. I'm going to Disneyland. At least 1 week they're on their own.
We'll have to see if we can coordinate this. But you know, I am hoping that everybody's happy for something this year. We've had a tough year. We've had a tough couple years. But I think, you know, if we look hard enough, there are still incredible things that God is doing for us and through us, and reasons to be happy, reasons to keep pressing forward and let people know the reason for the joy that we have in our lives through Jesus Christ, who forgives us, who keeps, you know, even though we screw up time after time, he'll pick us up, stand us up, dust us off, and say,
smack us.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You can do it this time.
That's right.
He doesn't give up on us. Jesus does not give up on us. And that, you know,
Lord.
If we're going to be happy about anything, that's, you know, the main reason to be happy is no matter how screwed up we are, God is not giving up.
Yep.
So, hey, have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And have a great holidays. We'll see you again before Christmas, or you can hear us again before Christmas. I don't know if I can con Ange into doing this again, but I think it was fun. We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
All right, guys. You have a wonderful day and a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Bye, y'all.